Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome to Kick Up Flicks. Let me tell you something about Andor Episode 3. If I was an officer or, an enlisted in the Empire, and then I realized that I'm on this ship that can bring me from one planet to another planet, and then I get on this other smaller ship and we're going down into the planet and I have to stand and shake the whole entire time, understand that I'm going to vomit and then quit right after. Why? I do not care. You're not going to put me on a ship where I have to stand. That is so uncomfortable. How do they account for gravity and, the speed, the turbulence, everything? That to me just didn't make sense, and it felt very uncomfortable to shove all those men in one place. But on a positive note, I actually do like this episode. I think this one had the best synergy so far in episode 3, when it's kind of dealing with Andor's past and present, and they are both kind of happening at the same exact time. And what I mean by that is the same thing is actually happening in the present as it did in the past. Something happened, he has to go do something, or he is doing something, and then there's always someone there to save him, and then after that he leaves the planet. So literally everything that happened in his childhood is happening in the present, and I kind of like that. That was kind of fun to watch. Again, it didn't make a lot of sense with his childhood of why he's raging out so bad and by himself on top of that. Like, why would you risk going by yourself without anybody else because being captured or killed, unless he just really didn't care. However, in this episode you really see that Andor is kind of inexperienced, like him going on the walkie-talkie and literally saying something to the robot, and then that literally draws out the officer to pinpoint his exact location. It's like he doesn't know enough about the technology that the Empire does have. And you would think of somebody who's able to get onto their ships and take something of that great of value would actually understand the type of technology that they have for locators and stuff like that. And he wouldn't think anything further, but yet he had to learn a lesson from the buyer saying, don't have anything on your body you cannot control yourself, which again makes total and 100% sense. And if you think about the rest of Star Wars, no one had anything that they have never been able to control. It doesn't matter if it was a bounty hunter or a Jedi or an officer, anybody that was in a political power. They were all able to control whatever was in their possessions. And Andor just doesn't seem to have it. But then there are other times and other shots that they do that shows his experience, like he's in control. He's never like spiraling out of control. It's just that he creates the spiral but then takes control back, which I actually respect. And what I mean by creates a spiral is, they found his location. They're coming onto his location. He had someone save him by being more prepared than he was. And on top of that, what was interesting is that his buyer actually set bombs on the exact place that he entered in from. So he already scouted the whole entire area. And the only thing is he just didn't have an exit, unlike Andor still had multiple exits to leave, which I kind of respect. But when he got surrounded, there was limited options. And then one important thing was Andor's father. Like, how do you know who Andor's father is? And I hope they kind of go back into the past and we figure out who Andor's father was. That just necessarily didn't resonate or sit with me. But all we know right now is his father got hung. Period. That's it. Now, again, I have never read anything or any other story other than watching what I'm watching right now on Andor. So if there's more information, let me know down in the comments. But I don't know enough about Andor to know, and I think Disney should kind of take that in mind, because I was kind of confused on that, like him mentioning, oh, your father got hung. Okay, well, he got taken from a planet as a child, so who do we know who his parents actually are? One thing that they did really special in this episode, though, is Deputy Director Karn and Andor finally meet. And just to see that angle that that was a beautiful shot right there. And I like it. It was like almost like an intimate moment of, you're the one chasing me, don't. Right? Because this is what can happen with you. Like, we know for sure that Andor has no problem defending himself and putting people down, but he only does it as a last choice. He's not a cold-blooded killer. He will only defend himself if shot upon. And I kind of respect that about Andor. It doesn't make him a cold-blooded killer. It makes him a person that still has boundaries and lines that he won't cross unless you force him to cross it. But then other than that, once he crosses it, he don't think twice. And it doesn't seem like he has any true regret on doing whatever he has to do to make sure that he makes it to whatever planet he needs to go to. And Sergeant Linus in this episode, oh my goodness, this one was a fun one, to be honest. I really did like this one, only for the simple fact is that when he said the line, "Oh, we're completely surrounded," I was like, oh yeah, you are. I guess, there's no proof or anyone showing that you are surrounded. There's literally nothing. Like, they are garrisoned, and then they're like, "Oh, we're garrisoned, but then we're surrounded too. They're everywhere." Who's everywhere? And then Marva's over here talking about, "Oh, wait for the reckoning when the sound stops." The sound stopped. What happened? Nothing. It just felt very uncomfortable after the sound stopped, which at the same time it was peaceful. But nothing happened. The people didn't do anything. The people just kind of sat in their homes, which is great. I was waiting for something big to happen, but like an old Western type film, they had, Andor had a quick deflection of using the car and then going the other way. That was, pretty cool. I like them using the speeder, and then Officer Karn giving up right there. And I was like, yeah, he pretty much, almost died. He lost a lot of people. He knows he's in trouble. He lost a whole entire little ship that he'll pretty much find out about before. Pretty much he destroyed his whole entire career. And I found that hilarious, to say the least. But it's, by the way, the most action that we've gotten out of 3 episodes so far, and I really do like it. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it about the whole entire episode. I kind of like it. There is, now some more movement, and I feel like things are going to start picking up, and the story is still going to go. But my big question is Andor still going to be looking for his sister? I mean, that was how we started, but will that be where we end, or is that still going to be an important thing anyways? What is your opinion? Let me know down in the comments. And if you like, subscribe, hit that like button. Don't forget to click the bell notification. And above all else, don't forget to kick up and not down. I'll see you the next time I post. Peace.